So now we're here at Ben Nye, and look who's here with me, my good friend Dana Nye, who is the president of the company. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, having a wonderful time in Sydney.
It's amazing weather, isn't it?
Well, you can never go wrong in Sydney, and it's one of the prettiest cities I've ever been in. So.
And what do you have in here? It looks like all these colors are amazing. You know, what's new? What's new with Ben Nye?
Well, at Ben Nye, we've been very busy. We've got a lot of new colors and palettes, and as we go into the North American fall, we've got a lot of great new colors. There's 23 new eyeshadows and rouges, so we worked very hard on expanding our line of the blush and eyeshadows, and I've never been so happy with the colors that we've had available for fashion and artists and whoever is looking for beautiful colors at a reasonable price.
And I remember, like, starting in theater, that the first makeup line I've ever touched is Ben Nye products. And now that you guys are a little bit more getting popular with the consumers, and everybody wants the high pigment and the intensity, vibrant colors and stuff. And how did you manage to kind of like connect from being a professional line of theatrical makeup quality into a consumer?
Well, I study the other brands, I guess, but you know, my father is Ben Nye Sr. He was head of the makeup department at 20th Century Fox for 23 years. I like the business, and I think I follow some of his instincts. He created his own colors when the shades that were available to him didn't satisfy his palette, and so we've been expanding our palette to make it broader and edgy and colorful. If we were to look down at our new Lumiere creams, we've added 17 beautiful shades that are instant to apply. They're creamy but smooth, and it's part of a series, Lumiere, that heretofore was the Lumiere Grand Color. It's pressed in hinge pots. We have luxe powders, which are the same colors in a beautiful powder. And I met with our dealer in Paris at last year's IMATS show, and he said, "Dana, you need to make the Lumiere in the cream." So we did that, and it's really catching on. The colors are gorgeous. There's a palette as well, so you can buy them in a 12 color, or we've added new stackables for the fall. So this is the Lumiere cream in a stack, and this is called the Brilliant stack, and then we've got the metallic stack. So they're really convenient, and an artist would really like using them. They fit in the case, and even if you're not a professional artist, this could be for bridal and any number of. There's so many ways that Lumiere is so beautiful.
It's amazingly gorgeous, actually, and I definitely, you know, consider something like that in my kit. It's just going to, you know, limit space and stuff like that, which is very important, especially for some of us who have a lot of stuff in our case. And of course, the Lumiere is very popular for everyone. And what other colors do you have here?
Well, there's a total of 7 stacks, and the first stack that we designed last year is our neutralizer stack, and it includes the mellow yellow, which is a red neutralizer, mellow orange to cover blue. So those two together are the essentials for tattoo cover. There's our coverette, which is a neat highlight, and some mid-tone colors as well. We have 8 lip glosses, but 5 in the stack. So these are
these are lip glosses.
Right. So that's a lip gloss, a neutralizer. We just saw the Lumiere cream in the metallic and the bright. Mm-hmm. And then for special effects, we've added a bruise palette and age effects and burns and blisters. So Again, there's a palette that's remarkably broad, and you never know what a makeup artist needs when they're coming up with a wacky editorial or effects realism. So this is our new essential eyeshadow and rouge palette. It's 12 colors, 12 eyeshadows, 12 rouges. About half of them are brand new, and the others are classics from our regular line. And of course, these are all available as refills, and it's a magnetic palette, so you can instantly change the colors. We're a major provider for Cirque du Soleil, and you know, their design credentials are impeccable, and when they have a special color that they need, you know, they'll send us fabric, we'll design colors to match an upcoming show. So, and they're extremely prolific, as you know.
Oh my gosh, I've seen all the Cirque du Soleil shows, and the makeup's just amazing. I knew you guys were probably like involved in that production at one point or another.
Well, we are. We provide most of the makeup for Mystere in Las Vegas, and O is a water show, so we do some of the makeup. There's Ka. They just keep on growing. In fact, there'll be a new show opening up in the Kodak Theater in Los Angeles. So we'll have our own very own LA resident Cirque show. We also added, this is called the Grand Color. So on my left is the metallic palette, and then the bright color palette. There's actually 23 colors in the Lumiere press color line. It's called Grand Color. So the palettes that are new, they're available in hinge pots, and there's refills as well.
Yeah. Okay. And how about these rouges? This amazing like colors in here, like corals and pinks. What are these?
Well, as a few minutes ago I mentioned that we had expanded the line of our rouges and blushes with 23 new colors, and so one of the well, we designed 4 new palettes, 2 new shadows, and 2 new rouge palettes. This is called the Essential Eyeshadow Palette, and this is actually the hottest selling palette here at the show. I mean, I think it's kind of like the standard colors. If you just needed 8 colors for contouring, this would be it. But at the same time, we thought, well, we've come up with some beautiful new rouges, and so this is called the Fashion Rouge Palette. It's the ESP 922. We talked with a couple people that are really outstanding artists: Nan Zabriskie at DePaul University, Rick Jarvie at the Lyric Opera in Chicago, and Darren Jinks at the LA Opera. And they helped us design 2 new, more theatrical palettes. This is the rouge, theatrical rouge palette, and then in my left hand is the theatrical eyeshadow palette. Oh, wow. So that's a total of 4 new 8-color palettes. Yeah. And so we've designed them to be broad as well as distinctively colored. So there's a lot of pop, and you know, these colors are very concentrated. So at the same time, the texture is silky smooth. So you know, this is why it might appeal to Cirque du Soleil, but it also is for professionals, for stage, and for a night out, I suppose. You know, so this might be a fun makeup to go out clubbing. We actually moved our business facility in 2007, so we expanded our laboratory. I have a new chemist, and I have a lot of motivated people that really like cosmetic design and production. When you come to LA the next time, I'd like you to come to our facility, and we'll give you a tour and actually show you how we make our cosmetics.
Oh, I can't wait to do that. I'll be like, oh my gosh, that would be like so awesome to like go to Ben Nye and see how all this happens.
Well, we don't get very many visitors, so to have you visit would be a really special experience.
And one thing that I can't help noticing are these two palettes in here, the Mojave and the Olive palettes. And as a makeup artist doing theatrical work, or even, you know, just regular either bridal work or backstage runway, the colors are definitely ideal for something like that.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment. It is September, 19th,
yes.
And I started working on these new colors in March, and I'm glad that you remember the name. It's called the Mojave series, and we've always had colors for actors of color. Actually, my father was the assistant on Gone with the Wind, and he made all the principal performers except for Vivian Lee and Clark Gable. Clark had his own makeup artist. Monty Westmore did Vivian, but even when she came on the set, he took care of her as well. But Hattie McDaniels played Miss Scarlett's nanny, and back in the late 30s, there was no makeup for black performers. Mm-hmm. And even 50 years later, there was still nothing really to speak of. And he was one of the very first designers to make makeup for olive and brown complexions. So we've just added to the line with the Mojave series. And so they start pretty light and go to mid and then medium and dark brown. And so these colors are part of our matte foundation series. And then we have an alternative palette, which is the olive and brown foundation series. And this is a compilation of our Sahara and our Maple and the new Mojave series foundation. So actually, the palette I showed you, I brought just to show the artists here, but this is another new makeup palette in the line. So there's 12 colors, they're refillable, and of course, each of these colors are available as an individual, you know, in an individual container as well. So I actually sent these colors to Angelina and Skip Smith at CNN Washington, and also Stephanie Cozart, who is a makeup artist that I've known for 30 years, has been testing these colors, and so we took a long time on them, and I think they've are going to have really a great impact in the market. It's really all to help the makeup artist do a better job, and that's what our mission is.
And definitely with all these shades and tone, I think we can easily accomplish that, right?
Well, I hope so. I spent a lot of time in 2010 expanding the line. Another part of our new colors are the Mojave press powders. And well, thank you very much. I have to tell you, we made 8 colors. In the first part of the year, we tested them. They weren't right. We started more or less all over again. So I know the pigments inside and out, and the time, it's been worth it. And you know, I think we've got something that's again will really help the actor and the artist do a really good job. They're also available as a you know, in an individual container, as they should be. Anyway, we're just trying to keep busy, and being here in Sydney has been really a great experience, because there's so many artists who are here and they want to learn, and you know, I want to learn too. So that's part of the whole process of you know, being a makeup artist, is you always learn.
And that's what we're here for, is a whole weekend of learning. Thank you so much for joining us, well, and such a pleasure to have you.
A pleasure to be interviewed, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Definitely. I can't wait for LA and tour the whole facility, right?
Absolutely. And in a couple months, we should be up in Toronto. for the IMATS Toronto. So,
We will be. So join us in Toronto, IMATS Toronto in November.
See you the first weekend of November in Toronto. It's a beautiful city, and it's a great show.
Thanks a lot for joining us. Until then, bye.